Yes, thank you Sarah so much.
Excel spreadsheet that you put their names. I need their address and so on. Homework quiz, final exam. Yeah, that's all I need. So just put Excel spreadsheet. Send me an email and I'll send you an Excel spreadsheet. You send me an email.
So we can put it inside of the picture that you brought it. So I'm going to copy these two, right? And then Ian is going to have, I'm going to copy it from my drive. All three of us will have to put it. I did make a copy of it. That's the reason. You put this drive back. You are awesome. You.
And just a stainless mirror. Empty mirror.
Hello, everyone.
Hector, are you going to make an announcement about we need someone to grade?
So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming back. 15 minutes to do the remainder of the course. The first thing is, if you have not been here before for last week and you have not got your name on the email list, please get your name on the email list so we can email you homeworks and quizzes and readings. The other question is... Nice and clear. Yeah, nice and clear, please. Thank you.
Can I get your email? Because this is the sixth time. Can I just get yours and send you an email?
It's actually, do you have the quiz?
No.
Okay.
This one? Yeah, actually I do.
Yeah, because it's actually on the top of it, because I made a mistake. My email is there, so you can like...
It's in 6 point font.
I just learned today that it's worth liking the 3 jewels on Facebook.
Oh,
Yes, like the 3 jewels on Facebook. Yeah, you get the announcements. Because this was the cancelled class.
Yeah. We also have a Facebook account, and you could like click on the videos on Facebook, and then you will receive.
Yeah, and also make sure you look for the ACI for the picture with the chicken and the egg.
But that's an event.
Yeah, because you want to be part of that event. Every week we send out a re-invite for the next week. And when there isn't one, you will get an invite for the correct week. So
right, but
Facebook...
Can you find events like just like searching?
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
It
comes up everything.
Yeah, just search ACI4 and you'll see the chicken. Yeah?
That's when you know you're in the right place.
Roman numeral 4.
Did,
I didn't.
Did it?
Oh yeah, Roman.
If you were on ACI 3, it just automatically...
No.
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 No, you were invited. If you weren't invited, go and, I don't know, do something. Call me. We also would like 1 or 2 volunteers to grade the homeworks and quizzes.
Do it.
This is the best job because you learn the stuff. So what this means is we collect the homeworks and quizzes, and then there's a cheat sheet you just get to read. After the 3rd one you go, yeah, that's enough. But you really would like to do that? I would love that. So just put an asterisk next to your name as graders, and then you guys talk. Yeah?
Is there anyone else who wants? It's helpful to have 2 people.
Yeah.
Doing it in case.
Do I have to do it weekly, or can I just do it?
That's a good question. What do you think?
I might not be able to make it up.
What would the Nyungur be about that? The Nyungur would be yes. Yeah. Unless you Shintukok your... Unless there's something very, very hidden about the reason you asked that question. I know. I'm just being a naughty person. So thank you. Yeah?
Yeah, help
And
out.
was there anybody else that would like to volunteer? You need to sell, you're volunteering as well. Okay. So together, you're social mediaing and you're marking homeworks and quizzes. And you're just up the road, so after you get drunk, come over and hang out. On knowledge.
Can I make an announcement?
Yep.
Okay. I'm planning a
trip to go to the Himalayas in India and to go to Ladakh. So if anyone is interested or has been there, please let me know. It's going to be starting the beginning of July.
So if anybody is wanting to do something crazy in the beginning of July and go to Ladakh, talk to Olga, because you've never been there?
No, I never have.
No, so get lost together. Yeah, it's going to be an adventure.
But flying into Delhi and then going north. And the itinerary is very flexible.
So if anybody wants to go on a trip to India in July,
Yeah.
talk to Olga. It's worth doing. If you have been there and you want to help her figure out the pitfalls and the opportunities, please do so.
I just wanted to make an announcement that in 3 weeks, possibly, June 14th, Lama Marud, who is the raw-ish of Dharma, I was supposed to say, he is coming to the Three Jewels, and it's really cool because the Three Jewels is a nice intimate group. It's actually on a Thursday night, so it wouldn't be like you'd be doing anything different because you'd be here anyway. Nice, right? So he's coming, and I forget exactly what he's teaching, but whatever it is, it's going to be great. And yeah, so he's going to be in a lot of other places in New York, but other places you have to pay, or it's going to be super crowded and you're going to be sitting on top of the person next to you. So it's beautiful because we're going to bring down the wall here, and so we're going to have a lot more space for
It'll still be
to
super
visit.
crowded. You'll still
It'll
be
be
sitting
very
there.
crowded.
But it's also by donation too, which is amazingly awesome.
You
It's
should,
it's at
you should come.
refreshments at 7:30, and then just be early because he's on time. He's an on timer, and we're gonna start at 8. Okay.
Does anyone know what he's doing?
I do. It's outside. There's a flyer outside. He has a whole bookstore. My bad. I'm supposed to go outside and get it.
Thank you, thank you. 1 minute.
I have one more announcement. Last summer we did a program called Open Oceans, and it was at Rockaway Beach every Saturday that the weather permitted. And it's a meditation and surfing lesson and yoga, and it's all by donation. And last summer we raised the first money for 108 that was ever made. And this summer I don't think we're going to actually be able to do every Saturday, probably just July. But this Saturday is supposed to be nice. So we're hoping to do our first open ocean session this Saturday at Rockaway Beach. And we will be raising money for 108. So if you're interested, I'll get I'll pass my notebook around, and you can write your email address, and we'll add you to the open ocean.
And they look like fun, and
It's
everybody
so
looks
fun.
at you guys, go,
It's
what
all
the
by
hell are you
donation,
doing?
and we raise money, and it's great. You get surfing, yoga, and meditation for whatever
What else
you'd
do
like
you need?
to do.
That's the Buddha intended.
The 108.
Can I bring my dog?
Yeah. At the
No.
Saturday.
No, you
I
can't
don't
bring
think
dogs
there's
to
dogs
Rockaway
there.
because it's seasonal
You can go on the boardwalk, but you can.
Just service dog, excellent.
I got that. I got the
Yeah, no. I don't know, maybe check or something. Yeah. Okay, good. Any other announcements going once, going twice?
I'll make an announcement.
Yep.
So
I'll make one.
the same awesome teacher, Lama Marut, has a retreat this summer, and you should seriously think about going if anyone has never done a retreat and is curious about doing their first group retreat. Part of it is silent. I think the dates are like 6 through 12.
7.
7 through 12.
Yeah.
Incredible teacher, really
It's
well
Tuesday to
qualified teacher.
So who's gone to that retreat before? Who's gone to the summer retreat? Anybody? No. All right. So if you have any questions and you want to ask about it, I'd be happy to talk about it.
Is that in July? Or
It's in
August.
Massachusetts. It's at the Governor's Academy. It's at a boarding school. It's super awesome. So, and there's flyers for it outside.
9 minutes to do half the class. Ladies and gentlemen, any more announcements? Going once or going twice? Okay, so what I want to highlight, there's 3 ways of looking at reality according to this slice. There's the obvious stuff, then the stuff that we're making, we are forced to think through them, use logic, that's Kokyu, and then the stuff that's so hidden, very hidden, Shinto Kokyu. And one of them is a direct experience, and the other one is an inference, requires some forcing thinking. This is no one teaches you this at school. We just fall into it. Yeah, it's very interesting because then you go, well, each of those, and then the Shinto Kokyu, which requires. I like the doctor analogy. That's beautiful. Yeah, it requires some authority about that thing, and and there's some rules to that we'll cover in the rest of the course, which you say, well, something like if they were able to tell me the truth about all these other things, you have to then use your Cochlear inference to say it's probable, highly probable that I have to believe them here as well. Yeah. So that's one of the reasonings. There's reasoning behind leaps of faith. I love it. So I have a question for you. Can one thing, does these three levels of reality separate things into those three spaces? Or can one thing sit in one or many of those? Can one object sit on only one or more than one of those levels of reality? Like all of them? Why? Excellent. So it depends on the subject or the object? The subject. Depends on who's perceiving. Remember the first class we talked about the dog thinking pens were chew toys and no amount of telling them or showing them. That's Shinto Kokyo for them. For us, it's obvious reality. It's a pen. It's that. That's all it is. So the pen can sit in all three levels or two levels or one level depending on the perceiver. Also very interesting. Also very good reason to study perception. Because the web of reality is uncovering itself as we observe it through these lenses. Interesting. One thing can be in three levels of reality. Depends on the perceiver. Very interesting. Good answer. So if one of the qualities of the Buddha is that they can perceive all things, past, present, and future, then all things would be at what level of reality for them? Obvious, yeah? Can you train a muscle in your mind to get things that are previously Cochlear or previously Shinto Cochlear to become direct, valid experiences? Yeah? So for that, I need to teach you, say, Nungsum, Sema. So Nungsum means direct or correct, meaning, I'll give you the definition of that, not depending on reasoning, yeah? So it's a direct hit. Doesn't require the reasoning, yeah? So that's direct perception. And let's do the next one. Jepat Sema. What's Sema?
Valid perception.
Good.
Valid perception.
Yeah. In Sanskrit? Excellent. Thank you. So the Jekpa is deductive reasoning. So let's do a chart. You have Ngungyur, we have Cochlear, Shinto Cochlear. Three levels of reality. Two ways of perceiving them, right? So one of them is used to perceive one level of reality. Which one? With Sema. Nungsum Sema. Why? You have a direct hit. It's a direct experience. Those two connected give you give you your experience of reality. Yeah? The other ones give you a different level of reality. Gets you to see the hidden and the very hidden. The deductive reasoning. So those two means of perception operate to understand different levels of reality. We got that?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine walking through your entire life knowing that. Like we're just learning it now, right? At 30, at 40, at 15, whatever you, how old are you? 15? 21. Imagine a whole life where you know that. You're observing every object and you go, that's an obvious perception, that's a direct perception. My direct perceiving mind is seeing an obvious thing, I'm having a valid perception about that. Oh, that's a hidden object over there, obviously my reasoning is that. Imagine just knowing that. This is what these little monks are doing in for thousands of years in, you know, this is a different way of looking at reality. You know, we're on Facebook. Okay, so so let me say, does anybody know the 5 paths? So for the advanced Buddhists, what are the 5 paths?
Accumulation.
Accumulation, meaning? Say that loud.
Collecting merit.
You collect some kind of merit and preparation, renunciation. Oh, we're failing. Someone give me the 5 paths.
Path of accumulation.
The path of accumulation.
Path of preparation.
The path of preparation.
Path
The
of
path of
seeing.
seeing.
Habituation.
Path of
Habituation.
No more learning.
No more learning. Yeah? These are the 5 steps to get to Buddhahood, from schmuckhead to Buddhahood. Yeah? So what's let's go to the path of seeing. What that is, if your life, if your mind was an infinite, which it is, an infinite stream of consciousness, beginningless time, no beginning, never ending. Somewhere in that whole journey, there is a moment where you get to see the thing outside the black box. That is called the path of seeing. You're no longer trapped inside the 6 dots that I talked earlier. Yeah, you have habituated your mind to see the ultimate nature of reality, to see emptiness directly, to see the very nature of the things outside the box. That's called the path of seeing. You can only see it in meditation. You can only see it with enough learning and knowledge and experience and practice. When your mind is in the first stages of, is it Tonglam? Tonglam? Is that what the 3rd path is? Tonglam. Yeah, the path of seeing. When it's in the first stages of that, which level of reality are you in? Nyungyur, right? You are having what's called a direct yogic experience. It's valid. You're having a direct experience. And then everything changes. Just like having the bubble in your head, above your head, where people can read your things. You have a reality that you've seen a reality outside the box. You can't contain the box anymore. You can't believe that the little thing you're seeing through the hole in the box is true. You just saw what's outside the box. And then you're stuck back inside the box. And you know for the first time in your entire life that you are not seeing the whole of reality. So,
Is habituation then, does it go back to you being Kokyo, or I mean, like, do you know what I mean?
let's have a look. So because
you're no longer in the perception of it, but
yeah, when you're no longer in the direct perception, did you or did you not have a pramana of that thing?
yes.
Yeah? Okay. So then are you operating in Nungyur or Kokyur? What's your answer?
I would say Kokyo.
Kokyur. It's hidden to you in a practical way, but you've had a pramana.
Right.
Yeah? So you're now habituating the, yeah?
But your mind can go, oh, that was, you were crazy, or you were on drugs.
Well, that's one of the qualities of coming out of Tonglam. Is your first mental affliction that drops off is doubt. That's one of the qualities of it. So that's not possible.
But then if you have that direct perception, how come you don't hold on to it?
Well, you have a stream of karmas, a stream of habituated responses to data, of seeing through the little hole.
Yeah.
It's exactly like looking at the sun and then walking inside and trying to look at your computer. You can't see anything. You've just been burnt over, right? It's in reverse. So, yeah? Yeah, okay. I'm really cognizant that I need to show you a couple of more things, yeah? So we've now talked about 3 levels of reality, 2 ways of perceiving those levels of reality. Not hard, really. It's just imagine doing that a whole lifetime. Actually, and what I want to say, there's all this mysticism around Eastern thinking. There's all these beautiful, magical, all that is minds like Ken Rinpoche's who have put the effort to see what was Kokyo and Shinto Kokyo and have a direct experience of them. And then you can see and know things that are hidden to everyone else. That's what mysticism is. When you see a master, when you see somebody that can do all these magical things, if they are true, then they've had insights into what's hidden to you. That's where the whole mystic thing happens. And it doesn't just happen in this tradition. This tradition can analyze it and dissect it and explain it. But you can have a mind habituated to break through the fabric of what's hidden to most and what's deeply hidden to most. And when they see that, when you've had that direct perception, you come back into the box, everybody's in the box. And then you say things to them and you explain things to them that let them see something. Wow, I see that. That was hidden to me before. You just said that and shit, it's there. Sorry, feces, it's there. And then all of a sudden these mystics, these open, Holy Geshe Michael can say things to you, and then you have this deep aha, because they've experienced these things. They've been outside the box. They know what's it like to be inside. I will keep you 6 more minutes.
Please.
So I'm going to spend the rest of the time, and in fact the next few course classes will be devoted to the opening lines of Master Dignaga's Compendium on Valid Perception. And please say, these are the words of the opening line. It would be a beautiful thing to plant these things in your head if they're not already there. Please say, Tsemar, Gyurpa, Drola, Penshepa, Tumpa, Deshek, Kyopla, Chaktsel. So it says, I bow to the person who has 5 qualities: the protector, those gone to bliss; the teacher, those who wish to benefit sentient beings; and those who have turned into a person with valid perception. This is at the beginning of his compendium. This is at the very beginning of the text. This doesn't even go into what's a pramana and blah, 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 blah. And in fact, the second commentary, which is Master Dharmakirti's, spends half of his book on this short sentence. What does it mean? There is 5 qualities in there I want to talk about. These are the qualities of a Buddha according to Master Dignagas. Yeah? It's tradition in Buddhist books to bow down to something holy, so some holy being or some holy object, before going in and writing a text or a commentary, just like we did in our meditation before. It's tradition to elevate your mind and say, there is something amazing here I bow down to. Yeah, so some masters, I think it's Chandrakirti, bows to bodhicitta. Others bow to the 3 knowledges. Others, this, I bow to the Buddha. This Master Dignaga is bowing down to the Buddha, saying there is this holy creature available to existence, to my mind, and they have these 5 qualities. And the 5 qualities are, you'll find these words in there. So say it's Semar Gyurpa.
Semar Gyurpa.
So what's Sema?
Valid perception.
Yeah. So Semar is valid perception. What's Gyurpa? Turned into means. So they bow down, he's bowing down to somebody who has turned into a valid perception. What the hell does that mean? How can somebody turn into a valid perception? I'll jump ahead a couple of courses, and say that if you can divide everything in the universe into changing things and unchanging things, then changing things can be either mental, physical, or neither mental or physical. Does that make sense?
No.
There are things that change. 99% of things in the world change. Everything's changing. Yeah? That's one way of slicing the universe. Let's grab the universe and slice it in two. Some things change, some things never change. The majority of them change. So let's look at that. Yeah? So out of all the changing things, some things are physical things. Some things are mental things. Yeah? Thank you. Yeah. And some things are neither. So Hector, the leg of this thing is a physical, mental, or neither?
Physical.
The leg.
Changing physical.
It's a changing thing because it moves, right? And it gets old and haggard, right? So, thank you.
It's physical.
It's physical. It's just physical thing. Yeah. Huh?
What's an example of something?
Well, is Hector's idea of his leg mental, right? Is Hector this combination or mixture of the leg and the thought of the leg? Is that? That's a combination on either, right? So that's it. That's good. So I need to tell you that.
There's a combination for and neither?
It's not physical only or mental only. How's that? Yeah? Okay. So the reason I'm telling you that is because how can you make a statement? What's sema? What's a sema?
Valid perception.
What's a perception? Mental, physical, or neither? Or both? Huh? Mental. So can you ever turn a mental into a physical?
They're different things, no.
They're different things. We just sliced the universe. So how can somebody be at sema?
There's someone who's had it.
They're non-changing. They're non-changing.
Oh, that's interesting. No, they're changing.
They're a person who's had a valid perception.
They're a person. It's a way. It's a term to really revere somebody who has had or has become so perfect that they are only ever valid perceptions. That they are only ever truths. That they are only ever accurate. So it's another way of saying a Buddha. Yeah. So he who has turned into a valid perception. There's implications to that. That's why it's important to talk about it.
And their nature isn't changing though, right?
Their nature is emptiness. So it's another way to say ultimately correct or totally correct. So that's the first. You need to know these 5 qualities so you can do your exam. Yeah? And so we can understand Master Dharmakirti's explanation of where's perception come from. Yeah? Please say Drola Penshepa.
Drola Penshepa.
So Drola means sentient beings, Pen means benefit, and Shepa means wants to. So that's somebody who loves all beings in an ultimate way, completely loves all beings. So that's another quality of the Buddha. I'll rush through it. So please say Tumpa.
Tumpa.
This means teacher, capital T teacher, meaning the Buddha, the ultimate teacher, the teacher that can really give you complete and utter understanding of everything. They're teaching you. So remember I said it's important to cover you can exercise your muscles around reality, around rent, or around death, or around important things like hidden things, right? Exercise that muscle applied to hidden things. So I propose that the entire teachings of Buddhism are there to focus these muscles onto things that, if they were true, would be utterly important. Like, does nirvana exist? Now, what level of reality would nirvana be? Be Kokyo or Shinto Kokyo? I don't know. But if you could exercise that muscle, it's definitely hidden from me. For me, I don't know about you. Is it possible to permanently cut all mental afflictions? In other words, be in a complete state of bliss. That's worth investigating. What about that combined with completely knowing all things? Omniscience. A Buddha Can you become awakened? Can you become a Buddha? That's worth investigating with that muscle of perception. And what about a way to get there? From here to there. Is there a path that's valid? If we understand how to investigate reality and then apply that focus onto those objects, that's worth knowing a little bit more than paying rent. Rent is important. So the teacher teaches these things. Teaches paths out of suffering. Teaches paths into bliss. Teaches paths. The teacher, capital T. Please say deshe.
Deshe.
Those gone to bliss. So in other words, somebody who's already done that, what I just talked about. And please say kyop.
Kyop.
Means protector or shelter. And we talked about refuge, ultimate shelter, ultimate protection earlier. So, investigating what these qualities are they possible? Can we move them from the field of very hidden or hidden to the obvious? And then can you habituate your mind to a point where you walk around this planet with that as a sema, with that understanding as a pramana, as a valid perception that you can in fact have a completely different state of being while everyone's inside the black boxes. Is that possible? That's worth investigating. That's what the rest of the course will cover. That's what Dharma Kirti's book starts to cover, unweaving these qualities, because if we can have pramanas about them, they change your behavior. And your behavior will have consequences to your experience of living. That's sexy. Yeah? Let's dedicate this to those beings waiting for you outside, the ones ready to get angry and upset and hungry. Yeah? Imagine that at some point in the near future, those beings waiting for you to step into them outside from these light bodies that you take from here with droplets of wisdom. When you're walking there, that something triggers on in them over the next week that lets you have a pramana about something you've not had a pramana about. Maybe something that's slightly cockure.
Sashi
Ukir Jashim Metotram Rira Vinshin Impari Skande Shindu Niteguardi Dropunanda Shimla Duparsho Vidam Guru Ratnamandala Kamniyatayami
Dewa
Gyokun Sunam Yeshe Sok Sok Shin Sunam Yeshe Lejumwe Dampa Unito Parsho. And just melt that teacher that was on the crown of your head, slightly smaller and smaller, shrinking down, getting more intense, and entering the crown of your head and lowering down just in front of your spine until they rest at the level of your heart. Potent with wisdom and love to switch on what's previously hidden and make it obvious to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for teaching.
Thank you again. I'll try to be better next week.
Yeah, homework.